We are live. Yeah, not only are we live, we are live with, as you may have noticed, Nick Wood has had some reconstructive surgery and has made himself look like the godfather of live streaming, Stephen Healy. Stephen, hello.
Yeah, Nick's aged. Yeah, Grant, I'm so happy to be with you and to be on Be.live. As you know, Be.live is my favorite marketing system because
Oh,
of its integration with Amazon. So it's a pleasure being here. And
yeah.
yeah,
It's a pleasure. For me, it's a pleasure being here with you, if you know what I mean, because it was you that introduced me to Be.live. It was watching you that kind of introduced me to live streaming all those years ago, which
yeah,
happened at a time when the whole world was going online, and it's been
yeah.
absolutely amazing. So to kind of have you, it's as good as having Nick here already. Oh, so yeah, um, I'm sure Stephen will pop back in a second. Stephen, if you could just refresh your stream, you know what to do, Stephen. So yes, we're talking about kind of live video production this week. I had the great privilege that Stephen asked me to kind of come on for Be.live and talk about my journey when it comes to live streaming. And guys, if you have any questions or comments or anything, please jump into the comment section. That is absolutely cool. And we'll kind of go through those. Stephen introduced me to live streaming. I kind of discovered that he's the godfather of live. So when the world went into lockdown and my business went into shutdown, I needed to go online. And when I went online, I found Stephen Healy and Be.live. And the rest, as they say, is history.
It, it
So
is it is history. I mean, so much has happened to live broadcasting since those days.
yeah,
And it's perhaps fortunate that instead of heading towards Zoom, you headed towards Be.live because they
yeah,
are two totally different worlds, aren't they?
yeah, they are. And a lot of people, I work with a lot of coaches and therapists, and when I talk about live streaming, they always think I'm talking about Zoom. And I'm like, Zoom's different. And like, if I'm on a Zoom call, you get that Zoom fatigue. It feels like work, whereas live streaming is very different. And again, I think when you're trying to reach new audiences, live streaming like the way that we do it is a great way because people can watch it without any kind of commitment. They can kind of jump in, jump out. There's nothing there. On a Zoom call, you've got to kind of let yourself be known that you're there. So you're kind of a little bit more committed to it. So I think it's a great way of reaching a new audience and then bringing them further into your sales funnel or your marketing funnel as well.
With the Zoom call, you've got to be there at the right time
Yeah.
because you can't turn up to a recording. Whereas, as we're doing it, we're broadcasting out live now, and we know that later today, even tomorrow or next week, people will see this recording. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the interaction carries on long after the live broadcast. And that's
Yeah.
the beauty of live, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's the audience has a control, has an element in what's going to happen in the show as well. People can ask questions and it can steer the direction of where you're going to go. Which is why it's great to have the agenda sometimes, because sometimes I have the habit of just kind of going completely off piste. Jim Kellner is in the comment section. Jim was the second ever person that I kind of interviewed. My second ever live stream was with Jim. And it's we've kind of gone from strength to strength from there. I've actually and Jim will laugh at this. I've actually got a photo of that first stream that I prepared for this, and you'll see the. I'd like to think you can see the difference between the streams now, but that's
Well,
that's that first stream. There we go.
the, right. Okay. Let's just go by the numbers. One, you now have a different camera,
Oh,
most
definitely.
definitely. You've got a different microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two things that have changed. And you've just updated to yet another microphone.
Yeah.
So spoil for choice.
Yeah. It's one of those things, especially live streaming. It can be quite addictive. You start where you are and then you kind of just keep kind of moving along and you kind of get a different this and a different that. And both me and you, Stephen, go on Amazon and talk about the equipment that we use. So then that gives us an excuse to buy more stuff. And then it becomes a never ending pit sometimes.
It's
Uh,
the best excuse in the world. I mean, you can either be there as a brand ambassador, or you can say, right, I'm going to stay independent and I'm going to buy the kit that I want
Yeah.
and I'm going to market that on Amazon. And that's why I've got all my kit. I mean, that's why I've got 4 cameras and 3 microphones.
Yeah.
Not because I need 4 cameras and 3 microphones, but I could sell all the different features of the different cameras.
Yeah. And that was it. And again, this is something that you introduced me to. You know, live streaming went down a certain path and people were using it to kind of get their businesses out there. It helped me in other elements of my business, kind of like with wedding fairs. We kind of made them virtual and did that online. Interviewing other stage hypnotists from around the world, which, you know, me and Jim talk about this a lot. It transformed my personal brand from being, you know, quite a good hypnotist in the UK to being, you know, to that now working on a global scale. And now, like, me and Jim now organize a conference in Vegas for all the hypnotists. And all of that stemmed from live streaming. But one of the things that stemmed from that was like the Amazon Live thing, which you do amazingly, and kind of introduced me to. And again, it took that element of just going live and turned going live into an income stream as well.
Well, but basically, Amazon Live is totally different to any other broadcasting destination because you've got to qualify to get on there. There's a quality team at Amazon that actually watch you broadcast for 90 minutes and decide whether they're going to allow you on the platform.
Yeah.
So you've got to go through the hoops to actually get on there. But once you're on there, I mean, you and I can go live 24/7 if we so desire. On Amazon and earn commission, because it's the only place I know where you can earn commission just by going live.
Yeah. And it was so weird because I mean that in itself was quite addictive. I remember at one point I think I was in Thailand or somewhere ridiculous, and I was like, I'm going to go live. I'm going to do an Amazon Live from the beach. I'm going to do it from here. And it was, you know, we were all live all the time, which was really great. And so, yeah, it's been brilliant. And Jim is now part of the Amazon Influencer Program as well.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Jim. I mean, basically, the thing is, if you've got the kit, it doesn't matter where the kit and a good internet signal.
Yes.
Then you can broadcast from anywhere. We're off to Germany middle of September, and I will be broadcasting from there because I'm taking the portable with me, and we don't have to. Well, we can do anything we like these days. We're very fortunate. Yeah, and the thing is, telling stories is what live video is all about. I mean, we've been reviewing kit, but my partner Angelica decided last year that she would love to run London Marathon.
Yeah.
And it was her wish, but she didn't think it would ever happen. But she applied for the ballot of the London Marathon for 2024. And she got turned down because only 50,000 people can run and 1 million people apply. The odds are against it.
Yeah.
And then she goes to a gym here in Devizes, and one of the trainers there said, contact the Shore Trust. They will have a place for you. So Angelica did contact the Shore Trust, and the Shore Trust said, yes, you can run for us. You can do the London Marathon 2021. And we did interviews using Be.live on Facebook and YouTube to actually promote it, because Angelica, in the end, raised 1,200 for the Shore Trust. And what's most important, of course, is that she actually completed the London Marathon 2024. And when you consider that we both started doing Park Run, which is a free run in a local park near you, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Just turn up, nothing to pay, just need your registration, just register once. Started doing 3 miles, and Angelica eventually did 26 miles.
Wow. Good afternoon as well to you, Adam. Yeah, it's amazing the doors that live streaming can open. And like you said there, like interviewing people to help raise money, it's great for fundraising.
It is.
I got involved in, the first person I ever interviewed was a guy called Jason Nobby Morgan. And I always tell the story about how I was in a very dark place when all my shows was cancelled. Jason messaged me and said, you should do a live stream. So we did a live on Be.live because we couldn't figure out any other way of going live, to be fair. We've gone live, and then as a thank you to that, he runs a charity event in Wales. It's like an extreme off-roading event,
Yeah.
And I've kind of thanked him later on, and he's gone, "Why don't you come and live stream the event?" And year one, we had a little caravan and 2 cameras, a webcam and something else, and all these off-road trucks. The last time we did it, I've got a picture of it actually, because it is quite ridiculous. The last time we did it, you'll see there, we've got that's the media team. There's a trailer, there's some 4x4s, there's Starlink, there's an old military vehicle with a telescopic pole that's got Starlink on the top and a PTZ camera. And now we even have a guy that flies a drone, but we have the drone come into our Atem Mini, and it's literally, we've got multiple people with cameras on their mobile phones. We've got 3 fixed cameras, and then we have a couple of other massive cameras, but all connected via Starlink. And it's a very muddy, very messy, but it's a great live stream. And the amount of doors that's opened is unbelievable, and you can have some real good fun with it as well. And again, if you're involved in some kind of event, and you want to get to that event, you can kind of go, "Listen, I want to be involved in your event. This is something that I do. I live stream events. I live stream that. I would love to get involved. Is this something that you'd be interested in?" And again, it opens some doors.
Yeah, I mean, basically, just going back to the marathon for a moment, Angelica was sponsored, and she had corporate sponsors. And we said to them, if you sponsor Angelica for £50, then we'll do a corporate video for you. So companies did, which was good. And we've got a local gym called Fruity Fit. That's the advert out of the way. And basically the 2 co-directors, I did a sort of 40-minute interview with them, and they had obviously content that they could repurpose, because that's the beauty of live video. We go live for 45 minutes to an hour, and you're actually creating content. This is the easiest way to do it. I mean, if you ask me to sit down and write a blog, I'm going to think about it for a couple of days and then sit down. And even with Grammarly, I'm going to get things wrong, make mistakes. Whereas if you do a video, then you can take out the good bits and you can repurpose those. Yeah, I mean, like when I went live on Amazon today, the first thing I did, I went live on Facebook first.
Yeah.
And I spoke for a minute about this show. Yeah. And I went live on Amazon and spoke about this show for another minute. And that basically could then be a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a live stream now, I try and think ahead of, like, I want to get like maybe a 20-second soundbite from it that I can repurpose later for a YouTube short or a TikTok or for an Instagram reel. And exactly like you said, you have your bullet points of the stuff you want to go through, but then all of that can be repurposed. And, you do a 45-minute live, and from that, you've got 4 or 5 pieces of content that you can share throughout the week. In one sitting, which it saves a lot of time, and it just kind of streamlines everything.
It does, because you can use it to promote the recording, because we know most people will watch this on the recording.
Yeah.
This show. In fact, they watch any show, they watch the recording, because you can choose the time, you can choose whether you watch the whole thing or skip bits of it. Most is on the recording, and we've got to be aware of that. I mean, there's when we started, one of the broadcasters said, "Play for the recording." That was David, and David said, "Whenever you're going live, remember the recording and do." So that's why he always used to start his shows with "Welcome to today's broadcast," and if you're watching the replay, it's just little things like that make a difference.
It's my pet hate with live, when people go live and do that whole, "We're just going to wait for more people to come on." And it's like, don't worry about the people that are there right now. You might have 1 or 2 people watching you live. You may get 3, 4, 500 people watch the replay. They're the people you want to be concentrating on. Try and do the best that you can. But I always mess around for a little bit to make sure that my sound's okay. That's my bit of a buffer. But I never wait for people to join. They're either there or they're not. It's the replay. It's the repurposed content later on that I'm more concerned about.
Yeah. I mean, I made some 60-second intros because I'm not that important. I don't expect people to turn up and sit there for 5 minutes looking at a blank screen. So I did 60-second intros, and I thought, right, it's time for me to be on there.
Yeah.
I don't. We're not that important. Basically, people come to actually see and hear us, and we want to be there as close to the beginning as we can be.
Yeah.
I still know people who have 10-minute intros.
Oh.
And those were the days. Those were the days. I mean, the thing is, this is evolving, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always something going on, whether it's the technology or the methodology of actually doing this. It's always improving.
Yeah. And we've always got to improve as well. Audiences change, you know, what people, you know, like you said, during COVID, people would sit and wait for stuff. And there was, you know, people that were live streaming during that whilst the pandemic was going on, the numbers watching those lives was through the roof because nowhere else had anyone else to go. Since then, it's rolled back a little bit. And now we've got to have those hooks. We've got to grab people's attention and pull them in. We've got to do everything we can really. But yeah, live's such a great medium.
It is. It's the best way to reach an audience, best way to tell your stories, best way to get people involved.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pick a topic which is of interest to people, I mean, if you can't go far wrong at the moment. If you pick an election, you could have picked the election we had in this country, or you could pick the US election. I know one of my friends who was just an ordinary broadcaster like you and me. Not an extraordinary broadcast. Let's put that in context. And he decided that he was going to follow Trump. Okay, now I'm not talking about politics, but he decided he was going to follow Trump. And early this year, he decided what he was going to do is he was going to replay Trump videos with his own commentary over the top.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and he has gone ballistic. He can do a YouTube video and get 250,000 views.
Yeah.
And it's not a one-off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's it. Yeah. Lives help you reach your tribe. They're all out there. Whatever it is, whatever it is that your passion is, whether it's steam trains, whether it's hypnosis, whether it's whatever it is, whatever your passion is, your tribe is out there and they want to share with your passion. And going live is the best way to find those people and for those people to find you. But yeah. Go on.
I mean, I'm from the age of steam when we had steam trains. And obviously steam trains now are part of, well, they're conserved. And there's a chap he's got a YouTube channel, and what he does, he goes around all the various railways that are actually private, and he films them. Yeah,
wow.
He's got an amazing audience just talking. You know, I mean, I think most of us would say if we got told the Royal Scotsman was coming along our local line, we'd go and watch it. Well, he's doing that, but he's doing it around the country. So there are no topics that are actually off limit. If you've got an interest and knowledge, then you can do anything. Yeah.
Jim's done this. I've jumped on one of Jim's live when I was doing it, and it was live working, and it's fascinating. And literally, it's going live, but not even going live and talking to the audience. It's going live and just doing your work. So if he's got some stuff to do, Jim's just finished his book, and it's a great book. Do check out on Amazon, Jim Kellner's book, How to Fix Your Life. So literally, Your Life Sucks and How to Fix It. Sorry. So yeah, so when he does his stuff, he's got his TikTok on and he's just working, and people just watch it. And there's something fascinating about watching other human beings doing normal human things. And I never thought it was something that would interest me, but yeah, it's a really great way. And like I said, the numbers of people watching that now is just ridiculous. So yeah, it's whatever it is that you do, there is an audience for it. But most importantly, it only takes one live stream, one video to go viral, and that can change your life forever. It can change your audience, can change everything that you're doing. So yeah.
If you're a creator, if you're an artist, if you actually make things, if you can show that on live video, then people come and watch.
I saw, I don't see them much online now, but because they're terrible videos. And it was like a cake reveal. And at the start of the cake reveal, this person's going, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to open the top of the cake and this stuff's going to come down. And after about 5 minutes, I realized this person's not going to reveal the cake. They were just trying to get the watch time, and it was going on and on. But the problem was after about 11 minutes, I'm too invested in this video now to not watch it till the end. And as humans, we are bored. We do not like to not have an unfinished story. We need to know the ending of something. So if you create something or paint something or you're making something, people have to watch it to the end to see the finished product. But that cake reveal, I think it was a 23-minute long live. But it frustrated me because at the end it was a terrible reveal, but it taught me a lot about my need, even when I knew that it was just like clickbait. I still had to watch until the end because I'd already invested so much time in it. So if you're doing something with a little bit of value, people are going to love it, I think.
That's true. I mean, I'm going to admit this now. First time live on air. There's a hamster cam. There are couples mainly who actually adopt hamsters, and they take hamsters and cavies in from anywhere and give them a home. And when I say a home, it's like a palace. Yeah, this is sort of a des res for hamsters. And there's something about watching 100 hamsters, because at any one point, a dozen of them are running around. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big point of the day, their big reveal of the day, and it doesn't take as long as your cake reveal did, is when they feed them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And they bring the food in, and it's all action
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, I love stuff like that. There's an American cat adoption place that does something similar, and you've got a couple of live webcams like 24 hours a day, literally watching these cats. And if you catch it at the right time, it's amazing because the cats are going crazy. If you catch it at the wrong time, you sat there watching cats sleeping and doing nothing. But I love the hamster farm. That sounds really cool.
The other one is Salisbury Cathedral, which is about half an hour from where we live. And basically every year, a pair of osprey actually land on the roof and they nest.
Oh,
And over the course of a couple of months, the eggs are laid and then the chicks hatch. And they have an osprey cam, which is on the roof of the cathedral. And that's very popular as well.
yeah.
Similar thing.
Yeah, I think there's something just fascinating about watching something live rather than pre-recorded. So when something is live, anything can happen. I remember doing an Amazon live once, and as I'm live, it was probably about midnight UK time. And as I'm going live, I can hear someone walking up the stairs to my office. So literally, as I'm live, I'm like, "Oh dear, I think I'm being broken into." So that was crazy. Luckily, I wasn't being broken into, but yeah, all was well. But I was being visited by a friend late at night.
That's just a point. I mean, basically, I think we're both using noise cancellation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always use noise cancellation because you would hear the noise coming up the stairs, but your audience won't.
Yes.
Yeah, noise cancellation is absolutely brilliant for cutting out background noise. We've got a neighbour who is a do-it-yourself fanatic, and it's summer, it's quite warm, so you want the window open,
Yeah.
and they're drilling away. But when you're broadcasting, if you've got noise cancellation on, nobody can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing with things like Be.live. It means anyone that's got a passion, anyone that's got a story, anyone that's got a purpose can turn a little bit of space into their own production studio, and we can have our own TV channels to broadcast that message to the world now, which is absolutely amazing.
Well, that's it. I mean, basically, you should, in terms of business, first of all, you should have your own website.
Yes.
Okay, because we know from experience that being on Facebook and being on YouTube is no guarantee that your videos will be around forever.
Yeah.
And the other thing is to note that if you put your videos on Facebook, basically you could put the most amazing 1080p high resolution video onto Facebook, and you go back to 6 months later and it's not high resolution anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody can watch it in high res. But if you put it on your website, it will always be in high resolution. It'll always be good quality. So having your own website where you can actually put the videos after you've created them, and just let people replay and watch in quality. Because the thing is, if you just use Facebook or even YouTube, they will degrade the thing. Because what they've discovered is quite simple and straightforward. Our doing this is wonderful. We can go live. We can go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and well, come back to Twitter in a moment, and Twitch.
Yeah.
And we do our thing, and the videos get recorded, and people can watch them years afterwards. We know this. But to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, this all costs money. To store a video costs money. Now, we know it costs us. You know, if we've got Google storage or we've got OneDrive or whatever, we're actually paying for it. Well, the companies are actually paying to store our videos. Yeah. So they've decided that if they're going to store the videos, they're not going to store them in high definition.
Yeah.
To reduce their costs, yeah, they've said, right, okay, we're going to reduce the quality of the video. Yeah. Now, if you've got a video from 6 years ago, they don't expect you to go back and look at it. So when you do go back and you find that it's in 144 or 360p, which is what it was 12 years ago, then, well, you're not going to go back, are you?
No.
But if you did, you would be disappointed. So having your own website, storing your videos on there in the resolution that you want is the way to go. Because we can't rely, because if you think about it, Facebook have decided that if you have a business page and that business page has got less than 100 followers, you can't go live on it now. Yeah. Oh, that happened. We got notice of it, but you can't go live on a business page until you've got 100 followers and you're of good standing. So that's been locked off. So when you're starting up a business, the first thing you need to do is get 100 followers on Facebook on your page, because otherwise you can't go live. You can play recorded video, but you can't go live. And the other thing that's happened recently is that Twitter, because I've been broadcasting to Twitter for quite a while, like we all have. Twitter have now said that unless you pay for Twitter, you can't broadcast live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just disappeared overnight. I mean, nothing about the politics of the site, but the thing is, if you suddenly stop people broadcasting for free, people got a choice. They'll walk away. They'll go to Facebook, they go to YouTube, they go to Twitch. And that's basically what's happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, Twitter are trying to get an income stream, and obviously they've got to survive. I mean, that makes common sense. But it just cut our options down, because we can't pay to be everywhere, can we? I mean, we go on YouTube, it's free. We go on Facebook, it's free. Twitch is free. That's Amazon. Amazon Live is free once you've qualified. So we've got enough choice. But do have your own website.
Yeah.
Do get your own storage. I was going to mention Vimeo for a moment.
Yeah.
Get the video on there. Get it in 1080p. It will stay 1080p forever, and then onto your website and drag people to your website.
Yeah. Just a quick note on Vimeo. Again, if you're a coach and you do learning products and all that type of thing as well, Vimeo is great for putting it on there, because they have like a paid for platform, so people can rent your videos. So if you are delivering value and teaching and training people in certain things, you can upload your video to there. You may have done like a live stream class or something, you stream it to your audience and then you upload it to Vimeo, and that can generate revenue as well for you. So there's lots of different ways to do it. But like you said, the good thing about owning the assets, I always try and download like important streams so that I've got it stored, because that I then own it. Because sometimes if you leave it up to Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else, if they suddenly decide, oh, we're not going to store that, or we're not going to, we're going to downgrade it, you've lost that forever then. So yeah.
Because I mean, storage space is cheap. If you wanted a 1 terabyte hard drive, it is affordable.
Yeah.
So you can download your videos. Videos typically are less than a gigabyte. So you can download your videos. You can store tens of thousands of them.
Yep.
And even I don't go live that often. So basically, you can store all your videos on a terabyte hard drive, and then you've got them as you said.
It's good to have them to look back on as well. Like the problem with Facebook, they sometimes don't keep your lives, especially don't stay live forever on Facebook, and so it's good to look back And especially if you start where you are, you consistently improve over time. 6 months, look back at your first live streams and see how far you've come. It's a
Yeah.
great way of staying motivated, especially when you hit like a bit of a wall where you're not getting any new subscribers or any new followers or new audience. You look back and see how far you've come, and I think it keeps your momentum going when you're going live.
One of the things that I love doing, especially on a Sunday when it's my turn to clean, is just going over to Alexa and saying, Alexa, play the Kinks. Yeah. She didn't hear me. Okay. And
Yeah.
that's the Kinks back catalogue. But by going on live video, we're actually creating our own back catalogue,
Yes.
which is, as you said, Grant, you can actually delve into and get ideas. Because the thing is that if you did a subject which you're totally interested in and you did it 12 months ago, now might be the time to revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are always topics around. You're not going to run out of topics.
I was fortunate enough that the pandemic happened. I started interviewing other stage hypnotists because I knew I was in a dark place. I knew they would be as well.
Yeah.
And it opened so many doors because so many other legends in my industry were happy to talk about their time as being legends. So Vegas headliners, the stars in my particular niche. What's amazing is, I don't know, 200 interviews later, we're probably 3 years on from that now. I don't do as many of those interviews anymore. But since then, unfortunately, a few of those true legends in the industry have passed. But the great thing is their legacy, their story, I've got recorded. That's now on my channel, and anyone that is interested in their particular history can go back and watch that. And another hypnotist messaged me just after, quite recently, when somebody passed, and when you must be so pleased that you did those interviews because you managed to get those recorded and kind of stored for all that time, so people can, if they're interested in that particular person, they can go onto the YouTube channel, find them, and then watch that kind of interview back. So it's saving their legacy and their story as well. So yeah, it was a nice moment.
That's the beauty of interviews, that you do the interview today, and it's here in 12 months, and it's here in 5 years.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we don't. I'm going to be honest with you. We don't know whether a video is going to be successful or not.
No.
I mean, we have no way of knowing. We know that since COVID, we had amazing audiences, and it's been downhill since then. But every so often, somebody finds you've done a topic they're interested in and promotes it.
Yeah.
So you can have, I mean, I've got a video from 4 years ago, which was an interview with Irene Chan, who was working for Be.live at the time. And she now got her own business, and very successful she is. And it was just an interview with Irene for a show we were doing. And I just put it on YouTube for somewhere to have it. Yeah. Now she's out outside the UK, shall we say, in the Philippines. And all of a sudden, everybody in the Philippines became interested in Irene. Yeah. So they went to Google and they searched for Irene Chan, and they found my video.
Yeah.
And it just skyrocketed. It's just, you don't know how successful a video is going to be, because it's not who watches it this week, it's who watches it, I'm going to say, over the years, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you never know, especially in the kind of entrepreneur world and the creator world, you never know what's going to happen to those people. A hypnotist friend of mine managed to do some kind of short form video, not so much live, but just short form video with some creators years ago, before influencers were influencers. Now, one of those people that he did some hypnosis with is Jake Paul, So you can imagine the traffic that his YouTube channel gets just from having those videos with some of those amazing people. Zach Pinsence, a very great hypnotist, exactly the same. He was just hypnotizing people at the start of that influencer thing. And now all of a sudden he's got millions of views on his channel because the people that he did the stuff with have now gone on to become celebrities in that world. So it's one of the great things about doing lives like this is it's still in its infancy. It's still a new form of media that opens those doors for those people.
We've got the major problem we've got. I mean, we can find people, subjects to talk about, we can find people to interview, But what we tend to forget is there are always new people arriving who are afraid of going live,
Yeah.
especially we Brits. I mean, let's own up. We Brits are camera shy.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
shy of cameras, and we're definitely shy of webcams.
Yeah.
And sort of being part of the moving pictures is a challenge for some people, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I suppose with any business, you've got to be the person that's putting yourself out there. And whilst people are still scared about going live, that's the best time to be doing it, because it means your competitor is sat at home doing pictures whilst you're interviewing people on video.
Especially as a business, yeah.
Yeah, at 100%.
It is now, and the time to get involved in live video is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
And basically the startup costs from a business perspective, you need a camera,
Yeah,
microphone. Do they have to be expensive?
no, no. I mean, some of my first kit, again, you can rummage around and probably find the stuff that you need. But a USB microphone is, maybe 10, 15, $20. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? A webcam, the C920.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the C920. Everyone's got one lying around somewhere, or most laptops have got stuff that you can use. But start where you are. But yeah, you can look professional very easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly with the laptops you've got today, yeah, very high quality. With the tablets you've got today, because you don't need a computer to go live. You can just go live from your Android phone, your iPhone, your iPad, or an Android tablet. I mean, you don't have. All you have to do is just go live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing for most people, is just pressing that go live button. But it's the easiest thing in the world to do, because I think live works so well because it's not perfect. So your expectation of it is for it to not be perfect. So it makes it human. So almost the mistakes actually add to its value. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like earlier in this broadcast, even when I just disappeared off screen, I came back again. But
Yeah.
that was a mistake. That's a blooper.
Yeah.
And you just got to live with it. I mean, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And we have a new friend.
Oh, Paulette. Paulette, hello, how are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
But yeah, mistakes happen. And I think once you realize that when something goes wrong, the world doesn't end. Everything's all right. You kind of go, oh, that wasn't too bad. I remember in the beginning, anytime my microphone was on mute, because it was on mute often, that was the engagement that always got, because people would very quickly jump onto your stream and go, you're on mute, you're on mute, you're on mute, we can't hear you, on mute. And it's like, at first you're like, oh, this is terrible. But then you're like, actually, no, it gives people a reason to break that fourth wall and talk to you and make that connection.
It does. And basically that's what we're after. Once you go live, and you get over your initial nerves, if you enjoy your first broadcast, you'll do a second.
Yeah.
So the job of Grant and I is to teach people how to get that first broadcast out the way so you can enjoy it and do the second. That's what we spend our time doing. That's working for OneStream and for Be.live. We are here to help you. And it's as simple as that, to share our expertise, our knowledge, and our passion for live video. Once we've got you past that stage, then you can go anywhere you like. You can do anything you want. You can basically go live whenever you want. It's free. As we say, going live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Sorry, YouTube. I've got to change that. I'm so used to saying
that for so long.
yeah. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn. Let's not forget LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You can go live for free. And you can tell your stories. I mean, basically, what we've been doing today is just telling our stories.
Yeah.
And that's as difficult as it gets.
Yeah, a great person that kind of started off watching some of the Be.live stuff. Met him at a couple of conferences, Dan Goyette, great guy.
Yeah.
He didn't go live, now goes live. Now he's a conference organizer. So I remember speaking to him at his Michigan conference years ago. And he started going live. He's now got his own, I think he's got 2 shows that he runs now. He also runs a magazine and he also organizes a conference. He goes live regularly, but he's been a podcaster for years, but never doing it as a live streamer. He's now organizing Pod Expo Live. So he's got so much into it. He's now organizing a conference for podcasters and live streamers in the US of A. And so to see his journey has been phenomenal, if you know what I mean. And that's the great thing. It gives anybody and everybody a platform where they can kind of share.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you can go from watching a video to being a guest, okay, and then to having your own show.
Yeah.
Just learn the ropes at every stage. I mean, we're not. This is not. It is mysterious. It is exciting, but it is common sense most of the time.
Oh,
Dan heard you.
There you go. He must have heard me through the ether. There he is, Dan Goyette. Yeah, absolutely.
No,
so yeah, but yeah, Pod Expo Live in Las Vegas. If you're into podcasting and live streaming, do check them out. Yeah. There you go. That's me trying to earn my free ticket.
Okay.
Your personal investments in others is one of the most important things that a person can give to another, and it gives lives. 100%, Paulette. 100%. For years, I wanted to be the best hypnotist in the world. And then I realized that was never going to happen because that's a very selfish goal. Now I just want to be better than what I was, but I want to help other people be better. I want other people to be the best that they can be. And when you do that, that opens up everything for you. And it's such a great thing to do. There we go. So yeah, I've got my my ManyChat set up on my Grant Saunders Hypnotist page. So when someone comments, it automatically responds. I'll tell you an interesting story about that before we kind of finish up a little bit. I was playing around with the automation and the AI stuff, and I'm involved with a big wedding show that I kind of host the catwalk for it.
Yeah.
They were giving away some weight loss powders as part of the goodie bag sample.
Okay.
And because this particular big show gets lots and lots of engagement on social media, I'd set up like automatic comments.
Yep.
So if anybody tagged this particular page or mentioned them, then the AI would then respond with various different connotations of either fantastic, fire emoji, thank you. But someone got upset by the fact that they were giving away weight loss powders and basically said, in this day and age, promoting negative body image is terrible.
Yeah.
And then a few people jumped on the same comment. What made it worse was the automatic comments that had been left on. Every time someone said something negative about it, would go fire emoji. and then these people then thought, obviously, that this company was kind of, just being sarcastic with them, and it just blew up. But then the more it blew up, the more the AI system started responding to them again, and it was like, Monday morning, I got a message like, Grant, can you switch this off, please? So yeah, the technology is wonderful, but sometimes. Cool. Yeah. So you've got live. This is going on all week, and you've got people from various different platforms as well. So today we're talking about Be.live as well as everything else. But you've got all sorts of different platforms as well. On Wednesday, it is Marco Novo and Bridgetti, of course. There we go. And they're talking about StreamYard.
Yep. Marco, a good friend, we've broadcast together many a time. He's a fellow Amazon Live broadcaster, as we are. So is Bridgetti, by the way. Marco's in Portugal. Bridgetti and Banda and I broadcast together for 3 years on Be.live. Back in those days, we used to, as we said a moment ago, we teach people.
Yeah.
And we taught literally hundreds, if not thousands of people how to go live. And we used to turn up every week with a list of queries from people from within the Be.livers group. And we'd answer those queries and then we'd move it forward. And we had a battle because Bridgetti was on basically on an Apple machine. I was on a Windows machine, and we wanted to do background removal And for the first 6 months, the background removal on a Mac was far superior to anything on Windows. And then slowly but surely I caught up. So that's where my love of green screens comes from working with Brigetti. But Brigetti and Marco together, they have used StreamYard since StreamYard started. So in terms of talking about StreamYard, they are the people who can answer all the questions.
Fantastic. And what day are you on talking about OneStream?
Right, I'm talking about OneStream Live with my good friend Joe Shepherd. Both Joe and I work for OneStream, so we're in a good position to talk about OneStream Live. OneStream Live is on Thursday at 8 p.m. and we look forward to seeing you there as well.
Fantastic. And it would be remiss of me not to do this, but I'm just going to put a quick plug for Be.live there. Obviously, that's my affiliate link, so do sign up for that. There is a sale on at the moment. I love Be.live. It's a great platform, but all this week there is some fantastic platforms, so do check them all out as well. And do check out all of the presenters as well. For those of you that, you know, from my audience that don't know Stephen, do check him out. He is the godfather of live. He's been live streaming before live streaming was even a thing. So how many years have you been live streaming, Stephen?
It's very kind of you to say, Grant. Basically, I've been live streaming since before Facebook Live. Now, when you think Facebook Live was 8 years ago, I've been live streaming for 9 years. Really enjoyed it, met hundreds of people around the world, and I just enjoy going live. I mean, if you put me near a camera, that's it. End of.
Brilliant. Stephen, it's been a real pleasure kind of chatting with you. And it's been nice to kind of have a chat, if you know what I mean. It's been great. And I'm always eternally grateful for, you know, you kind of helping me getting into this realm in the very beginning. And it's been, I'll say life changing. It's definitely live streaming has 100% changed my life. And I've put a lot of that down to you and the work that you've done. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. You're most welcome. I mean, I used to be an accountant. I much prefer being a live broadcaster.
I can imagine. I think live streaming is the closest thing for me to being on stage. That same kind of adrenaline and excitement about what could happen. But it's opened so many doors. It's unbelievable. And it's great to see some of the people in the comment section that are starting their live stream journeys as well as some people that are established live streamers as well. So guys, do check out all this week, live video production week. Again, check out Stephen Healy's stuff. It is awesome. And Stephen, thank you very much.
Most welcome. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's watched today. And I look forward to seeing you all again.
Cheers.